Welcome to the Natural Hair Education Podcast, where we empower, educate, and embrace our essence through the love of natural hair. I am your host, Corinthian Carruthers II, and thank you for listening. I am a licensed beauty educator, licensed cosmetologist, and natural hair culturist. I am co-owner of Creative Hair School of Cosmetology and the creator of Natural Hair Education, a platform that's designed and dedicated to teaching beauty school students, professional stylists, and natural hair enthusiasts textured hairstyling and natural hair education. On this platform, we will discuss real hair stories, break myths, and grow in self-love. This episode is brought to you by Natural Hair Education's Texture on Texture styling course. This styling course is a virtual educational experience. Learn how to properly detangle hair, learn how to do coils, flat twists, two-strand twists, and an updo style, all on naturally textured hair. In this program, you will receive Ada, which is Natural Hair Education's first texture hair mannequin. And listen, y'all, she is the real deal, okay? So once you get your hands on her, you'll be able to learn the different types of skills and techniques, as well as improve your current skills, increase your service time, along with your confidence, and overall increase your income. Thank you for tuning in today to the Natural Hair Education Podcast. On today, I have a guest, the Empress. Empress is a beauty and wellness professional and founder of Root Plus Honey, a unique space where self-care, mental health, and spirituality intersect. With a background in skincare, folk herbalism, and texture hair care, Empress brings a holistic approach to beauty, blending traditional practices with modern techniques. Certified in Psychohairapy, Empress integrates mental health awareness into every aspect of her work, creating healing experiences that nurture both the mind, spirit, and body. With a deep passion for holistic beauty, Empress helps clients embrace their natural texture while fostering emotional and spiritual well-being through intentional hair care practices. Welcome to the Natural Hair Education Podcast, Empress. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for being here today. I know in Michigan we have like this snowstorm coming. We had to make adjustments to make this podcast happen. So I just want to say thank you first and foremost for your time
Well,
and for sharing this conversation with me today.
thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. So, share with us who you are. I know I came across your Instagram and I started, following. I usually say I stalk, but I'm gonna stop using that word. I just highly admire the work that you're doing, and the aesthetics of everything looks amazing. So, share with my audience who you are and what it is that you do.
Okay, so I'm Empress. I am the founder of Root and Honey. I am multi-licensed. I specialize in textured hair. I do call myself a beauty ritualist because I do simply take these seemingly mundane acts and elevate them into ritual when it comes to my services. I believe in self-care. I believe in the radical act of resistance that is self-care, which turns into community care. And yeah, I have a whole lot to share. I have a whole lot to share.
So, Root and Honey.
Yes.
Is that a salon? Is it your business? Is it everything under the umbrella of Root and Honey?
It is everything under the umbrella that I am coming with. So currently I am working within a collective. So Root and Honey does stand on its own. But I do not have a brick and mortar salon, just Root and Honey yet. So we're putting that out there for future. But what it is a brand centered around self-care, self-healing, communal healing, and beauty. So essentially, I guess you can say lifestyle brand. I don't too much into all the specifics, but yeah, it's a way of life, really.
So are you a licensed esthetician as well?
I am.
So
Yeah.
you do skin. So do you practice skincare, or you just take care of yours real good?
Yeah. So I do both. Right now I have kind of shifted my focus from facials and working with the skin on the body to focusing on the scalp. Because I did decide to, incorporate my hair care practices into it. So it just made sense to go ahead and focus on scalp.
Absolutely. Do
Yeah.
you find, just interesting out of curiosity, I know, can you tell when a person, like if they have skin conditions, can you like kind of see, oh, yeah, I know she's going to have some type of scalp concerns because of the,
Yeah.
it's really,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
correlation.
Yeah, so even sometimes talking to clients about like what they do for work and just their day-to-day lifestyle, and even if they bring in snacks and I'm looking at the snacks and I'm like, okay, I can see why this would be a thing.
They turn on themselves.
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, it's a way of life. So that's what I mean when I have a holistic approach. So we're not only going to talk about your hair, but we're also going to dive into what are you doing spiritually? What are you doing in your food? What are you doing?
That is amazing. So I saw that you were certified as a psychohair
Hair.
therapist.
Yes.
Psychotherapist. Explain that because I've seen that before. I've seen that
Yeah.
term. I remember I seen a lady on the Instagram or some place on social media actually talk about what that was, and I was like, "What? Oh, we getting real deep now."
Yes, it gets really deep. So psychotherapy was created by Dr. Afia and Billy Shaka, who is super, super dope. Just she that girl.
Yeah.
Okay. She has created this certification and intensive where she trains therapists, hairstylists, or mental health wellness practitioners of all kinds that want to dissect and get into hair care as an entry point for mental health.
Hmm.
We all know, right? We all know that the salon is typically our first form of therapy within, especially the Black community, communities of color. We've always gathered, we've always found therapy. So we know that the salon is where it's at when it comes to that. You might have it, experience trauma. You might have experienced,
Yeah.
great joy. Whatever your experience is, that's usually a connector. So yeah, she created this dope workshop that I highly recommend. And yeah, it's just basically equipping us with the tools as stylists to be able to stand in that gap. Because not everybody goes to therapy, in the traditional sense.
Yes.
But we should still not be cut off from the access to have mental health services, wherever we are. So
That's
yeah, it's dope.
amazing. I think about that. So I don't know if you know, my family and I, we own a beauty school. And so
Yeah.
this is where I'm at now. I got my background up. But we actually, our students, they have clients to come back repetitively and come back. And of course, they dump.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
share what they're going through in life. And that concept of taking up that space or being able to provide those clients in a
Mhm.
healthy manner, I feel so needed. I think that should be a requirement
Yes.
for a stylist because as being a hairstylist, esthetician, a manicurist, any form of beauty service, being that practitioner, you hear a lot of stories. And let me ask, do that program or that concept, does it also help with the stylist? Because a lot of stuff is dumped onto us.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, her approach definitely addresses our role in the whole thing. And what I love about the course is it is a historical, uh what would you call it? Uh Time machine. So
Okay.
she is taking you from the start of the course to the end. You are constantly being reminded and empowered to know that who we are as hairstylists is a very, very important role in the community. And that role is actually very ancestral. That role is actually very
Whew.
much. a
Yes.
part of our whole thing, right? So she really comes at it from that angle, which I personally appreciate and align with, because you have to be chosen for this work, first of all. Second of all, you have the medicine, and so that medicine needs to not only be for yourself, but you know, kind
Good.
of care for others out that overflowing cup. So
Hey,
yeah,
that's really good.
yeah,
That sent chills to me. I'm gonna have to look that up and go through that. I've seen that. I believe I seen it after the pandemic. I think it was kind of surfacing.
yeah. It was around that time for sure.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, that is very well needed, especially in our communities. And I
Yeah,
know that we, our ancestors, and we even, well, back during the times where segregation was a big thing, the black hair salon was very an instrumental part in a lot of people's lives, even the barbershops, of course. But
absolutely.
I think a lot of people do not realize the significance of a hair salon or the practitioners that service. And like you said, it is something that you have to be called to do because everybody ain't fit for this
Everybody
role.
ain't fit.
Everyone doesn't have the, the for one, the personality or just the safe space to be able to provide people with a professional service, a safe service, a healthy service, a holistic service. And I know
Yes.
that's what you primarily focus on. Can
Yeah.
you share with us how did you get into this whole herbalism and natural healing and texture hair? Just how did you get to this space?
Yeah. It's been quite the journey. As is life. It's been quite the journey. But my main thing is that it was more so a unveiling that happened throughout life.
Hmm.
These things have always been around. They've always been in me. They've always been there. So it's more so me now, like, oh yeah, this and this and this, and showing it. And I mean, herbalism, all this stuff, like, is deeply, like I said, ancestral. Like, this is not anything new. The wellness industry makes it seem like it's new, but we know that this is ancient knowledge and wisdom. So it was nothing but to tap in and to fully, commit to living the lifestyle and embodying certain principles, to where that's just naturally what Root and Honey is. Like, me showing up is going to be these things.
That is amazing. Girl, that's awesome. I love it. Empress, that is amazing.
Yes, thank you.
I do have a question. Let me get back to my notes real quick because I was looking at.
Mhm.
Okay, so you have a passion for holistic beauty.
Yes.
What does that look like for your clients? And
Mhm.
and and have you had any clients that really that share with you the impact that you've had since they've been in your presence?
Yeah. So beauty for me is really a soul thing. It's something that I would describe as alignment
Hmm.
more so than an aesthetic. I think that we naturally radiate beautiful frequencies. I think that we naturally are beautiful beings because that's how God created us. But to be able to exude this energy of beauty, we have to be in alignment, mind, body, spirit. So for me, that's where it starts. I have had several experiences and several clients that are like, what you do is amazing. Like, what is this? And I didn't always have a name for it. I truly didn't. I was just going and being obedient to what I felt, my intuition. But it's necessary that us as stylists, us as healers, like, we really awaken all of our gifts and use all of our tools that we have, because we are in such a position of a healer. We're usually the first people that can see, how your health is. We can assess what's going on mentally. Now we have tools for that. Like, there's so many levels to it. So, um, I had an experience with a client one time, and it was a male, and I had never worked with him. He came in, and I was working at a salon with other stylists at the time. And I was much younger into my career, like it was early on. And I was in a space where I was thankfully, part of a salon where I was poured into by elders and other older women who have, in some parts, done all the things that I'm doing. So, like I said, this is nothing new, but expression at this point. But anywho, he came in, and I immediately, as soon as I went to go meet him, I felt something on him, as in like a really dark cloud. I just felt like, oh, and I was like, hi, how are you? And I just started off with that. Something told me, to take his coat. I take his coat, I hang it up, I show him where to sit. As he walked past me, I get like this chill. And I'm like, interesting. So we're going to see how this goes. So I took him all the way to the back of the salon because something was like, he needs to be away from everybody. So I went back there. I started to wash his hair, shampoo it. And as I'm turning on the water for the shampoo, he starts to kind of just cry. He heard the water, he laid back, and he just cried. Mind you, this is a grown man, towering over me, like huge. And all I asked him was, how are you feeling today? He took a deep breath and started crying. And I was like, okay, would you like to chat about this? What's going on? And I stopped. I pulled up a stool and I just sat there and waited. He said that this was his first appointment since he had experienced gun violence. He was a victim of gun violence. And that he just, was in a dark space. And so immediately I felt called to offer him what we would call a spiritual cleansing in that moment, which he was open to. I asked for his permission. Would you like me to offer this to you? Because I feel something. It's the heaviness, it's the grief of whatever you're going through. Maybe life doesn't look like how it did before. And so I kind of was just telling him that, and he was like, wow, like, I didn't even mean to share this. It just kind of came out. And he was open to the cleansing. And after his appointment, when we got done, he went under dryer, all of that. He literally was smiling, laughing, like he just felt so like whole. Yes, he felt so whole. And that was one of those moments where I was like, oh, yeah, it's deeper than hair.
Yeah.
Like the community needs that. And who's to say, like, he might have came across somebody else that could have, offered that, but who knows? He came into the salon just to get his hair done, but he didn't know that he would be delivered from whatever spiritual things were going on with him, and that he would find medicine when he came. So that was just a baseline for my work right now.
That is amazing. Oh my goodness. And you can just imagine, like, I just watched this little documentary series that a friend put together about the culture and when it comes to external beauty versus inner beauty. And it just talks about, we spend so much money in this industry to cover up so much pain that we have. We only use 8%. I think it was 8% of the people that spends the majority of the money in the market, in the hair care market, and it's us. But how we buy all these things to heal ourselves, and it's not there's other ways to go about it. But to be able to come to a stylist and get both healing and to look good, I mean,
what's better?
Oh man, I feel like there's such a shift happening right now. I don't know. I just feel like there's a shift, and like a lot of people may feel like what's happening is gonna take us back, but I don't feel that way. I feel like what's happening is going to move us forward as a people
Always.
together. I don't fear any of these things that are going on.
I
And,
know that's
and to talk to you today, it's just confirmation. You know, I called my mom this morning today, telling her like, "Mom, like I'm just so excited to be Black." I don't know. It's just, just so I feel the power
yes,
in for the work that you're doing, even with the psychotherapy. That
yes,
in itself can change lives.
yes,
So, girl, I mean, I don't know. I'm some type of way right now, hearing that story and just knowing that there are people out there that are doing the work and not
yeah,
for the dollar, not just to make them look good, but to actually make sure that people are feeling whole and complete.
yes,
And it's us, and it's us, it's the people, it's the culture.
yes, yeah.
It's exciting. It's
Very,
really exciting.
very. We gotta reconnect to the things that we know. I always say, and this is not just in the beauty space, but just across the board in life,
Mhm.
as Black folk today, 2025, it is so important that we do not throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Tap water. There you go.
It is so important for us to tap in, remember the tools that we have been given, because we've been given so many great things. We haven't only been given trauma. We haven't only been given challenge. We have always found joy. We have always conjured joy because it's an intentional act to have joy, especially right now. But it's so important that we tap in and use each and every tool that we have, and that we've been given in every space. You know,
Absolutely.
I do have a license as an educator, so I did spend some time teaching at the beauty schools, and I found that most of the students that were in the program, they would come from all different programs, different classes. They not even my student. They would find themselves in my classroom because we're going to get to why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
And what is your intention behind this service?
Hmm.
And actually, we're going to pull in our herbal knowledge. Actually, what did your grandma teach you about that? Oh, okay, so that's useful here. And
Hmm.
they just really would be like eating it up, like, oh, I'm like, yeah. And it actually helped to illuminate some of the people that wasn't called to it. And they were like, actually, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, that's fine.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, it's a powerful space, and we must rise to that
I
occasion.
agree. Listen, I'm all here for it, and I'm just excited about what's to come. I don't know. I have this. It's something on the inside. I just feel very excited and hopeful and grateful and appreciative, even though things are looking the way they are. Listen. When I tell you, I know we come out on top. I know
Yeah, every time.
every time, every time.
We're gonna be all right.
Yes, we gonna be all right.
Hey.
But it's true. But it's true. Um, so you covered a whole lot. Like I'm really impressed with you, Empress. I really am. I gotta have you come to our school one day and just talk to the students about what you do and how it's more than just standing behind a chair. It really is. And our hands are amazing. Our crowns are
Yes.
it's
These are all big energy centers. So
yeah.
why not know what it is and honor that?
Hey, come on. Let's get to it. Well,
Yeah.
before I let you go, do you have anything coming up that we can support?
Yes. So I do have a sold out event that is coming up. But hope, stay tuned because there will be more, lots more to come in the future. In March, I have partnered with a licensed therapist, a Black woman therapist, to do a Black Women in Mental Health Day where we will do a panel discussion. I also am working with my co-stylist, Alex, who will be facilitating the panel discussion about Black women mental health and hair care.
Well, keep me in tune, okay? Because I have students that I will drive right down there. We gonna come and we gonna support. So please keep us notified of that. I would love to come and
Yes.
support. Where
I
can? Mhm.
no, I say I would love that. I would love
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's all about community and support.
yes.
Where can the audience find you and see what you're doing and how they can support you?
Yes. So I am on Instagram at the Root and Honey. Um and yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I keep it low key.
Yeah.
I don't like to do too much. I'm trying to get the TikToks rolling. I'm trying to do the things. But yeah, we
It's a
on Instagram.
lot, ain't it, girl? Look, it's a lot. When you start thinking about all the work that you have to put into these,
Listen, it's a lot. I just do what I could do. I really only signed up to be a healer and to be a hairstylist.
yes,
I didn't want to do content creation.
right. I don't blame you. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being a part of the show. Before I let you go, you've given us a lot of valuable information, but do you have anything that you want to intentionally share so that the audience or the community can benefit from?
Hmm. Yeah, the message is to remember the gifts that you have been given and tap into your tools. That's it. That's all.
Love it. Ashe, ashe.
Ashe.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. I will be in contact to get more details about the event so I can come on down and bring my students. In the meantime, peace, love, and you take care, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings.
I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Please be sure to go to Instagram and follow The Root and Honey. Until next time, let's continue to empower, educate, and embrace our essence through the love of natural hair. Thank you for listening, and be sure to leave a comment, rate, review, and follow the podcast. Thanks for listening.